Deb, I don't know how many people knew about Jesse Love before last Saturday at Atlanta, but boy, they know about this kid now. What an impressive performance.
He really is. He, as I got a text during the race saying that Jesse Love is a hot shoe, and I said, yes, he is. I was very fortunate to be able to do an in-depth interview with him at Bristol last year. And when you hear about how he has trained and his background and come up, Toyota honestly did not plan on running him for a championship this year. And then the next thing we know, Richard Childress has him driving in the 2 car. In the Xfinity car. So, for him to come out and perform as quickly and as well as he has done in just the first 2 races, I'll have to admit I'm surprised. I thought it would take him about half a season to adjust because he won the ARCA championship last year. But I have been impressed with his showing so early, and I'll be anxious to see if this continues at Vegas and Phoenix.
We don't need those stinking trucks, Bruce. We're skipping trucks.
Well, what's amazing is you talk about the number of great talent that a lot of people may not be that familiar with that can do what Jesse Love is doing. And now you go out and you look for the next Jesse Love. Let's be honest, until prior to Daytona, a lot of race fans probably didn't know much about Jesse Love. Well, they're certainly finding out a lot about him now. And it also will go to show just how much talent is out there and how difficult it is to make a Cup Series team in the future. There's a lot of great drivers out there. There aren't any starting parks like we used to see back when we began.
We were kind of surprised that Austin Hill went back to Xfinity for another year or two, sticking with Richard Childress Racing, Deb, but kind of started off the year with back-to-back wins, and he was very impressive at saving fuel in Atlanta. I mean, he came on the radio at one point and told his crew chief, Andy Street, said, all right, I've saved you about 5 laps. And Andy goes, if you can save me 5 more, I'll feel really good. And darned if he didn't, and picked up his 2nd straight win to start this year and his 3rd win in Atlanta.
Yes, I was very impressed with Austin Hill. I did not expect him to be able to save that much fuel, and he did it by being back in the pack and drafting and not going out and leading. And that goes back, as talented as Jesse Love is, that's what he needed to learn, was to go back and save fuel there instead of being the rabbit everybody was chasing and burning all the fuel. And, Austin Hill is clear that he has found a home at Richard Childress Racing. And he feels very much at home there. He and Richard have a lot of things in common. They go hunting together. And I think he knows that when the time is right, he will have a Cup ride there. And so why move from somewhere where you've got a chance to win a race every time you step in that race car during the Xfinity Series season, and that there's a Cup ride on the horizon, and you're happy where you are? So why jump to somewhere where you're uncomfortable?
Austin Hill's so good at saving fuel. Who needs a hybrid engine when you got him behind the wheel of a race car? I mean, that's pretty amazing. It's also amazing that these guys that save fuel so well have that feel and knack about how to do it.
Mm-hmm.
How many times have we seen our gauge light come on, better get gas soon or you're going to be on the side of the road, and you keep thinking, I can go a little bit further. There's a Shell station further ahead. I can get my fuel rewards card on that. But these guys do it in the heat of battle, where it's just amazing that they can calculate it while competing against 39 other cars or 35 other cars on the racetrack at the same time.
And to be able to come on the radio and say, I have saved you 5 laps, that they know that. They know how he knows how he's driven it and saved that many laps. And I was sitting there thinking, we're going to be here a while tonight. NASCAR's going to tear that engine apart. I was pleasantly surprised when they came back and said post-race inspection is finished and nobody's going back to the R&D center. So I was impressed about that as well.
And NASCAR was surprised these guys were going like 75 laps on a tank of fuel for the whole last run.
Those are Smokey Unick numbers there.
Smokey running that fuel through the roll cages.
Running it through the roll cages. They took out his fuel tank, and he got mad, and he drove the car home without a fuel tank.
Fired it up and drove it on home.